Everybody, it's Lex from PDQ.com. We'll be taking you through setting up automated testing. Yeah, I don't know. Do you trust me to do everything right? I don't. All right, the crew at PDQ here does a great job, but it's always good to test in your environment because your environment may be a little bit different than ours. So let's jump in. First things, let's talk about a few methods of testing. First of all, Hanks, you've done a lot of testing in environments. I mean, when you were a sysadmin.
Yeah. Yes, I did. A lot of education, a lot of making sure that applications didn't break when you had updates, things like that.
So when you choose computers, I like to build a collection, but of test machines. When you go out to choose those, is there any methods you go about to select so you get a good rounded view of what's out there?
Yeah, I try to make sure that I have at least one of every flavor of a machine that I've got for my staff if I can. So that I make sure that it doesn't break anything hardware-wise as well. But obviously everything, keep them local, nothing that travels around or that I can't reach.
Okay. So I did this last week, and this was kind of cool. I just grouped by OS, and then I got versions, and then I've got this static. I built a static collection here. And the great thing, I learned this a little while ago from Hanks, you can actually go in here and select machines from. Here, let's drag Rick into the test machines and drop him in there. So now, again, these are all groups. So I've got Rick's and Toxic Rick. I got some 1803. I got OS 2016. Just for my grouping, you can see where I'm in test machines. I've got a smattering across the board of different OSs. Another thing I like to consider is your business units. I mean, you got accounting. You may have development, IT, teachers.
Yeah,
staff.
I did that with like lab machines, student machines, teachers, admin.
And then, so that you get a little bit of everything. Now, when you choose machines, the other good thing to do is pick people who are willing to actually test or let you know and they're not overly whiny. I also like to throw in some for people that, I just like to mess with. So we'll put Hanks's machine in here early and we'll test all the bad stuff on his. But
That's right.
And then another thing, I guess, with choosing those, you need to consider the critical nature of whatever you're sending out in regards to timing and that. I mean, obviously, you don't want to, at quarter end, to be testing stuff on accounting machines. I just think, if we did that to Julie here, she'd be in here punching me. So, anywho, that's some things to consider in regards to, the different methods of testing. So we built a static collection. Again, when you build static collections, you select the machines or you can drag them over like I did. I'm actually going to clear that grouping now. So again, I just right clicked on the column I wanted to group by, and then to clear it, you can just right click and here clear grouping, and there we go. So those are our test machines that we've selected today. Another thing you want to do is that, you have collections of machines. Obviously, we got a test machine. You may want to do collections for the different types of testing that's out there. Again, if you do have, your OU broken down by grouping, like, accounting, and you've got accounts payable, so on and so forth, you can actually integrate using these in your collections. So what I've done, just to kind of get us going, is I built a Chrome test collection. Okay, and basically what I've done is I've gone out and I've gone and said, look, I need to test Chrome. We're going to download Chrome. We're going to need to test it. So what I did was I built a collection called Chrome Test, and I want to make sure the machines that I'm testing on have an old version of Chrome and also are part of that testing collection. So what I did was I added the filter here, from the computer table, and I went to collection. And the nice thing about this collection is a member, isn't a member, and it lets you select the collections that you've either built or have been previously built for you. So that makes it super, super easy. Any thoughts in regards to collections, Colby, Jason?
No, I really like that method because the collection library we update. So really that collection is going to keep up to date with the machines that are old and latest and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Colby, thoughts?
And this method points to the collection by the ID, kind of behind the scenes. So if the name ever changes, it'll still work if it gets moved around. It's also more performant than doing the other way where you specify a name.
The collection name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the other nice thing, again, I like about this is I'm just piggybacking on work that's already been done by the crew here at PDQ. They already maintain the old collection. So I don't have to rebuild it. That's extra work. Should we take a question? Do we have a question?
All right, question about the TightVNC package. Is there a way to change the password when using the auto download package? This is from Johnny M.
Johnny M. Let's go grab the TightVNC package from the package library. TightVNC, there it is. We'll download that. Now, auto downloads, the meat, the bread and butter of it, the actual, if we open this up, you'll see the auto download portion of this right. Well, there it was. Here it is, right here, these steps. You can't modify those. So what you would want to do is set in the post step, you could set a, here we go, password service right there, set TightVNC. Let's see what we've done here. So what we can do is this. We can take this and change it right down here. We'll just copy this and paste it into post steps. And at that point, we can go in here and modify the password. Colby, seem to work, you think?
Yeah, it's not the most efficient thing ever, but at this time you can't edit the steps. So the same kind of thing applies to Chrome. That's usually, that's a question we get a lot is like, how do I re-enable auto updates on Chrome? You would do the same thing.
Yeah, and not only that, the nice thing about the pre and the post steps is they'll stay there after the middle of the steps have been updated in a new version, that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
So you don't have to keep redoing that.
You just do that once, and now we've got the new TightVNC with the appropriate password right there. Thanks for the question. That was a good one. All right. Well, let's talk about packages. I mean, we're here. First of all, auto updates, right? Or auto downloads, excuse me. Options, preferences, auto downloads. Now, I've got mine set, and the default, I believe, is 7 days, which I like that for production. That gives, obviously, me a week to test it. It also has, some time, in there for other people. I mean, I don't know if anyone's had an issue with a Microsoft update ever going sideways, and then, 2 days later, they come out with another one. I don't like to test for other people, just for me. So this is the global setting right here. Now that kind of defeats the purpose, makes it difficult to auto test if everything's coming down at the same time. So what we will do, we're going to go out to the package library and we're going to download another version of Chrome. And again, we'll just download Chrome Enterprise. The reason I'm going to do that, because at the package level, we're going to go in and change that so that we can have it come down at a different time period. So as soon as that finishes off right there, boom. I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the name, first of all, so that I know that this is my test machine. So under properties, under details, I'll take that 2 out and I'll just put test. Now again, the nice thing about the auto download on this, if you just leave that appended on the end, it'll change up to the version number, and what you've appended on the end will stay there. So we'll know this will always be the test. To get this to come down, this package specifically to come down on a different schedule, you would go to Options, and then you would uncheck the auto download using settings from Preferences, and you could go in and select it manual, immediate, so on and so forth. We're just going to make this immediate. We'll give it an OK. And then when I close this, the nice thing is right here, when I highlight that package right there, it says this approval is automatic and immediate. So there's that indicator, also the indicator that I put test on it. It's a test machine. In contrast, the production version right here, it says it's just using settings from Preferences. Any input you guys want to put into changing downloads? Hanks, do you ever do it? Different machines, different schedules, different OS or packages.
I usually show it when I'm doing demos for customers, because that question comes up quite a bit. But yeah, the default 7 days, I will usually change Chrome to immediate, because I just always want that up to date and go, and I haven't had that break anything in a long time. So I think if you know what packages you're dealing with and the software in your environment, there's no dependencies or things like that, you can be a little bit riskier with it. But
okay, so in general, I usually do on immediate, and I do just the standard. So let's go build schedules. Let's build a production schedule first, and then we'll build a testing schedule. And we'll show you a couple of different ways to go about actually scheduling these. So I'm going to grab the standard version of Chrome here that comes down on the 7-day delay. We're going to go to deploy, build a new schedule. This is nothing new, guys. You should be, and I'm going to call this, we'll call it Chrome, and I'm going to put dash prod for production on it. Okay, triggers, I want this to go out, let's just do this on Friday after hours, say 11 p.m. Okay, targets. I'm just going to choose Chrome old. Anybody has an old version of Chrome since it's production? We are going to go to our collection and choose Chrome old. Now the other nice thing about this is, again, it's dynamic, so I don't have to maintain it. It's being maintained by the crew at PDQ by updating the variables and the version numbers there. Okay, and wow, I'm glad Hanks is over there. Can't see what I'm doing because
I can see all the misspellings.
You can see the misspellings. All right, nothing new there.
Well, I could feel them.
You can sense that they're there.
You can sense. You hear two keys typed at the same time. Yep, you spelled something wrong. Again, stop deploying to targets once they succeed. Target history, just to bring you up to speed how this works, so that you don't end up tapping machines twice. The history is done by version. So when the new version, version 117 comes down, there's no history for version 117, and that's how that will work. So.
And it's only from that schedule. It's not from manual deployments or other schedules.
There you go. All right, so we've got our production schedule. Let's go and do our test schedule.
Real quick, will you go back to the triggers on that?
Absolutely.
So I usually point this out too on the triggers of the schedule. If this is a production schedule, make sure that the start date of that is after your initial deployment of your test. So if you're going to have a test schedule and a production schedule, make sure that the start date of that is after the test, so that it doesn't kick off automatically. If you're setting this up, it's Thursday and that's triggered for Friday, you don't want that to kick off tomorrow. You may want that in a week.
All right, so I'll push it out a week just for the initial run.
Yeah.
Smart move, man. I like that. And then obviously you probably integrate your heartbeat schedule to get machines that are on and offline there. So, boom, there it is. Now let's go build. Should we build the test one now?
Sure.
Okay. So test schedule. All right. Again, we're just going to go build a new schedule once again. We're going to call this Chrome test, so I can tell the difference between the two. Triggers. You can do this on intervals. You can do it daily. I figure once a day is enough. Let's do this a little earlier. We'll do it, say, 8 p.m. every day. Okay. Targets. Now, a couple of different ways to go about this. I'm going to show you the way I would normally do this. You just choose targets, and if you were to go after, let's just go after our test collection, right? So if I select my test machines, the issue you might run into is, let's say Hank's had one of those machines and he installed it. He's already got the latest version. It's not going to work. So that's why we built that advanced, that more intelligent collection that looks for Chrome old and part of test. So I'm going to grab Chrome test in regards to that. Okay. Obviously our packages, stop deploying to targets once they succeed. We give it an OK. There is yet another way to do it, and it starts getting a little more confusing. So let me try this, and then I showed this to Hanks yesterday, and all we did was debate whether or not this was a good idea. So let's say, for kicks and giggles, I'm going to take this test machine, or this test Chrome, at properties, I'm going to say only allow this to run on members of the test collection, test machines, not even Chrome test, okay? So now it has to be part of the test machines collection to run, okay? Now I can also build a schedule. Let's go build another schedule so we can see the contrast in this. We'll call this Chrome test 2 just for the sake of making you guys all confused, right? And triggers, again, we'll just do that same daily trigger at 8 p.m., right? And we want one or the other. Don't do both of these at the same time. I'm just showing you this so you have some options. And then targets wise, I can just go choose Chrome old as the targets on this one. All right, so it'll run against Chrome old. when it goes to run, that package will only let it run on test machines. Or vice versa, I could just run it on test machines and say it only runs on Chrome old at the package level. Does that confuse anybody? Because I know Hanks and I had... So at this point, let's say it's going to run on Chrome old, right? So this schedule's going to go out, okay? And it's going to take a look at the Chrome old collection, right? Which is right here. And it's going to go through Dex knows. And the package is going to say, is Dex knows part of our test collection, test machines? Yes, it is. Go ahead and run the package. And it'll step through every single one of those and verify it against the test machines here. And then it will only run on the ones you want. So I've done, in essence, the same. Colby, you got a comment on this one?
Yeah, the problem that I can foresee with that one is that it will actually run against everything in Chrome old, and it will fail on the ones that are not members of test machines.
So what if I did it the other way around? What if I said only run the test package on machines in Chrome old, and then I use the schedule to run against test machines? See, that's where we got in the debate yesterday. Does that make sense? So now, the machine, it'll only run on Chrome old, but the schedule is saying, go ahead and run it on Allen Rails. Allen Rails, is it part of Chrome old? Nope. Crucibot, is it part of Chrome old? You see how it's only going to run against these 6 machines in test? And if they're not part of Chrome old, they'll fail.
That's a little better.
A little better, a little more efficient. That was the debate we had yesterday, Hanks and I did. All right, so there's that way to do it. Now okay, so now the question is posed to you and to Hanks. Is that just confusing? Is it just easier to do it with collections, or does that, make it easier? Because then you don't have to have a collection for every production, or every test. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, the thing that we got into the debate about, for me, I don't like to have my packages, my general packages, have limitations to them if I want to run them right
This
now.
is a test package,
I
though.
understand, but I did all of that in the collections and inventory, so the logic was all there.
Okay.
So I could see the logic. I could see the targets.
So you prefer the collection method?
That's just me.
Okay, Colby, thoughts?
Same.
I tend to agree. The only reason I would do it this way is if I was too lazy to build collections. So, anyway. All right, let me get rid of. So, it can be done that way if you want. If Colby says it's not a good idea, you can do it. Colby doesn't prefer it. I don't prefer it. Hanks doesn't prefer it. But it can be done,
I think I win
guys.
the point on that one.
You get the point? Are we giving points?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if we're giving points, we should probably go to another question. If we've got one.
I have a deployment that also installs a recent update. In this case, the version of the app has the version number of the update. When installing the update separately, the update installs as a hotfix and the app still has the lower version number. How can I test for both at the latest version? And that is from Thomas F.
Thomas F. All right, leave that up a sec. Okay, when installing the update separately, the update installs as a hotfix. Boy. Colby, thoughts on that?
That one is unfortunately not going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, we could write a collection against and looking for the hotfix.
Right.
Yeah, or is there anything in the registry that identifies the version, or
And there's some places to look. You can pull the hotfix.
or if you really had to,
Let's
if
just-
there's no change at all in the application and the way it shows in how to remove programs, you could always tattoo the registry with the version number.
Yeah, that just...
That's dirty, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
So I would run, okay, so I'd go look for the hotfix if it's there. And then you could include exclude. Speaking of excludes, I'll show you how to exclude stuff. So you could build a collection if the machine has the KB to exclude it. Just doesn't seem overly clean way to go about it. But Colby, any other thoughts on that one?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's just going to be there's not going to be like a really nice, clean way you're going to have to do something like that. Either a complicated collection, or some people are suggesting things like create a text file as part of the deployment that's like hotfix applied and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's no real clean. Yeah, okay. A lot of complex ways to do it, apparently. So, well, I'm glad that we made that one clear as milk, huh? I mean, There's ways to do it. It's just, you got to decide what the pain is you want to go about doing it. Let's talk about excluding machines. So let's say you've got a machine that, like I just picked one for Chrome since we're talking Chrome. I've got server site 1 that I don't want Chrome on. Okay, I want Chrome to be at a certain version. I don't want it to update. So I built an exclude Chrome collection. And you guys, I just want to show you this. Hank showed me how to do this a while back. See that right there? See how that's kind of, I got my test collections and my exclude collections. I want to show you how to do that. We're going to build production collections. To do that, I'm going to build a static collection, and let me go up here and stick it so it goes right to the bottom there. Boom. Okay, new static collection. We're going to call this production collections. Oh my gosh, I even typed it right. And I'm going to put nothing in it. Okay, so now I've got this really cool static collection with nothing in it. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to view, I'm going to change the appearance. I'm going to give it that little databasey disk stack kind of looking thing. And then underneath it, okay, so I've got exclude Chrome. So now I'm going to build a new Chrome production. We'll call this, Chrome, we'll call it prod Chrome updates, okay? Update there, see, there it is. There's the typing back. Okay, and what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to go in and say, okay, I want to include, and as long as it's a member of Chrome old, it can be updated. So applications, internet browsers, Chrome old for update purposes, right? And then I'm going to put another filter in, and I'm going to say and it is not a member of my super cool exclude from Chrome. Okay, now let's just verify this so that we can see this is going to work. So if I go to Chrome old, I'm going to save that. We'll let that go sit there. So Chrome old site 1 should be in Chrome old. Right there. There it is. Chrome old site 1. Excuse me, site 1. Boy. Site 1. JJ, I know why I don't use the highlighter. I'm not good at it.
Don't drink and highlight.
Don't drink and highlight? No kidding. Okay. So this, when I click on production Chrome updates, it should exclude site 1, which it did. And it's easy to add things to static collections. You can drag. So let's say we want Rick to stay on an old collection. We're going to drag Rick over to Chrome excluded. There, now I have Rick there with site 1, and Rick should disappear momentarily out of here. There you go. And so now I'm going to target the production versions of Chrome against the production Chrome updates. Any thoughts? Hey, Colby's eyebrows lifted up. Did I teach you something new today?
Not something new. That's just an eyebrow raise of approval.
Oh, well, I got a Colby approval. It looks like this. I can't even do it.
You got a Colby.
All right. So at this point, we've got our test environment. I'm going to go change the schedules to run off my production. So go to schedules. Here's my production. We'll run it against, we'll change our triggers to go against our production library I just built so that I get my excludes in there. Production collections. There it is. Get rid of this one. Okay. So our test goes out. Something goes awry. And I get a call from Hanks. And he's like, my Chrome is messed up. Okay. So what do you do at this point? I'm going to go in. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go disable the production so that we don't have an accidental launch into production. So disable it. I just right clicked on the schedule, the production schedule, and disabled it. Now I can take the time to go figure out what's wrong. Before I jump into uninstalls and that, do we have another question we want to hit?
Hello, the team of fire. When will version 19.1.xx be out? I see that you've been using it for a while now. Thanks. And that is from Phil R.
Hey, Phil. Colby, any thoughts on 19.1xx? I think I'm running a nightly right now.
Yep, it should be out soon. I think we're targeting a release date of a couple of weeks. We've been trying to put out a release every 6 weeks, but we hit a bump recently that kind of messed up that schedule. So once we get this one out, we're hoping to get back to that 6-week release cycle.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So let's say for kicks and giggles, and I'm going to drag Bird Person into my test collection here, which has the latest version, right? So let's say Bird Person got the new version of this, and that's Hank's Machine's Bird Person. Let's go and uninstall it. Okay. Highlight the machine, Applications, Google Chrome, right-click, uninstall. Okay. Nice thing about MSI is it's slam dunk. It's already got the QN no restart, so it's going to be silent. If this is going to go against everybody in that test group because you're assuming that it's wrong, it needs to be taken back, you can always right-click and create a test pack or create an uninstall package. Speaking of uninstall packages, we do have a ton of them out in our package library. So again, this one, if you needed to add silent parameters or anything, you do it on the end here. Caveat with most MSIs, this number right here, I believe most of the time is related to a version. So make sure if you try to globally get rid of this on everybody, you probably got to target versions and do it that way. Or better yet, Colby's got this really great script, which I'm going to show you guys. I'd run it, but we're kind of up against some time right now. This script, Colby, you want to explain what this does?
Yep, it's a PowerShell script that you feed it the name of the application and the publisher as just sort of a safety against applications with duplicate names, and then it will search the registry and uninstall any version of it that it finds. So it's a nice way to create a version agnostic uninstall package for MSI based applications.
Thank you, Colby. Okay,
Right.
I believe that's in the bonus content out there for everyone to grab.
Yep, will be soon. It's also in the chat.
Grab it, love it, live it.
And can I just point out, like
Yeah.
I did a demo yesterday with a guy and was showing him the uninstall strings that are on the applications panel. And then we ran an applications report, and he had a whole bunch of older versions. Some of them, even though they were the same version, had different uninstall strings. So Colby's script is great because it doesn't care about that. But if you're doing this manually, make sure you're not running the wrong uninstall string against those targets.
True. All right, at this point, we've uninstalled it. We need to grab an old version so that we can get Hank's back and working. So I went back to the package library and let's just grab 106. I just downloaded. You notice when you download a legacy version, it is not an auto update because you downloaded a legacy version. And then you can push that out and you're good to go. Do we have any more questions? All right, I do want to bring up one other thing, and this is kind of a, uninstalling a Microsoft Cumulative update. Seemed like kind of a daunting task to me, but I actually found some pretty good instructions on how to do it. So this is how you do it. You hit your Windows button. I don't know, am I going to be able to hit Windows I here, JJ, on this? Nope, I am not. So you would go to Updates and Security. If you can't hit Windows I, just go to Updates and Security.
It's better to show it anyway.
It is, instead of Updates. Oh, man. All right, now I have to type. This is going to take...
This is why he likes shortcuts.
I do.
This is why he doesn't like the highlighter now. We override the Windows button for the highlighter.
Yep, that's what I used to do. Well, that didn't do it. Boom. All right.
Did it take you into Internet Explorer?
It did. It really did. All right, Updates and Security. Updates. Check for Windows Update settings. All right. Here's where you want to end up. Windows Updates. You want to view update history. Okay. And then right up here, uninstall updates. JJ, do we got that centered enough? All right, at this point, you can now select which the last one that was just installed, assuming you can get to it, right? And then you hit uninstall, follow the prompts from there, okay? Once again, the easy is the Windows I. It'll take you here, updates and security, Windows history, okay? And choose the update you want to uninstall from there. Or, we've got a string here, we can do it from a command prompt, which is command prompt. Or do I gotta do that from, yeah, command prompt. And it needs to be obviously in administrator mode. You're gonna do wusa /uninstall /KB. Oh, KB. Colby, can you paste that into the, so that everybody can do this and or get it, and I don't have to. You're gonna want to do your KB, and then obviously, KB number. Okay, and then it'll be a quiet, no restart. And this is why I don't type live, guys, because I suck at it. All right. Would you, obviously you can build a package that does this. Any thoughts on that, Colby? Or Jason?
Just make sure you restart the computer once you've done this. The no restart flag is important because if wusa restarts the computer, deploy will get confused and either show a fail, or it might get hung up until the deployment timeout runs out. So it's better to use a restart step or manually restart the computer.
There you go. All right, so that's a cumulative update. So summary, guys, and then if we got any more questions, we'll hit that. Okay, when you're picking your machines, make sure you get it across your OSs and your business units, those kind of things. Don't pick critical people, okay? Watch your timing on that. It's a general consensus around here. Use the logic in collections as a way to choose, to make intelligent collections to run your tests against for your schedules. Obviously, I showed you another way to do it. It works. It just may be a little more confusing to someone else to read. We're at a point. Do we have any more questions? That's it.
I want to throw something out that we didn't really talk about, but it's not a huge deal. Will you go back to your schedules in PDQ Deploy?
Yes.
So you're going to have a test schedule and you're going to have your prod schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you are testing that application and you do a little bit more research and you don't want to wait a week for prod to go off.
Okay.
You can right-click on the schedule and kick it off from there, force it, and that way the schedule runs as intended. So that way if you have a 0-day exploit that comes out and you need to test for it first, and you do, run around test for it and make sure everything works, and you need to get it out faster than a week or 2 weeks or whatever your production schedule is, then you can kick it off.
Now, if you do hit that in the middle of the day, it's going to run that in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. I agree. Thank you, Hanks. Excellent. Well, that is pretty much, automated testing, guys. So, test. It's important, especially if you can automate it, right? I mean, then it's easy for you. It'll be good for any of your auditors to show that you have been testing, that kind of thing. And then let's hit one more question and we'll call it a day.
So this is from our very own Celine. Lex, when are you going to go to the track with me so I can smoke you in the attitudes?
Boy, you're going to smoke me in the attitude. The next time I'm available for the track, let's go play. I'm absolutely down to race you on a motorcycle. So,
because he races better than he types.
I do a lot of things better than I type. Hey, thank you guys for watching. That's automated testing. I'm Lex from PDQ.com. Thanks for watching.
Thanks everybody for joining us for the webcast today. Congrats to Johnny M. You are the winner of perhaps the greatest bit of swag that we've ever offered, the glamour shot of Lex signed by Shane. So get your information over to webcast@pdq.com and we will send that out to you. Everyone else, take it easy and we'll catch you next time.